Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. Today is February 13th, 2011. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency markets. Let's begin. Normal disclaimer, this is for educational use only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com. Okay, here are my contact details. If you have any questions, you could email us at mpatel@eiicapital.com, or you could go to our website and register for free and access all our free videos that we have. Also, you could access our Twitter, all our alerts for particular instruments on Twitter through Ichimoku Trading. Okay, now let's begin and let's go straight to our heat map and let's see what our heat map's giving us any opportunities out there. I'm going to shrink this down, scroll this over a little. Remember, if you don't know what the heat map is, this is kind of like our search engine, and you could kind of go to the website and you could download the video and you could see what this is. D0 is basically the current Ichimoku rating for daily. W0 is the current Ichimoku rating for the weekly time frame for that particular instrument. What we're looking for is 5 to 8 for being bullish and -5 to -8 being bearish. Okay. Now, if you look here, just kind of a couple of things. Euro USD, notice those 2, so it went 1, and this is 6. So the weekly is definitely bullish, but the daily is getting weak. We're not looking for that. We're looking for increasing numbers while the weekly is conforming. So if you look here, there's this is trending already, but got a little weaker. We'll go look at the pound a little later. This has got weaker. It seems like the daily's on the pullback, whereas the weekly is still strong. Don't see any opportunities there. Just scrolling down the list, Australian yen is definitely, looks like it's bullish, trending, but there's some weaknesses there. We'll see if there's maybe a trade opportunity there for it to continue and to start, maybe retest the highs or something like that. There's nothing there. These are all bearish, and these are all counter trend. Looks like a lot of counter trend opportunities instead of trend opportunities right now for all the currencies. Just scrolling down the list, still don't see anything out there where it looks like the weekly and daily are conforming to start a trend. The only thing that looked really good maybe was Australian yen for a continuation trade. This could be one. Australian Switzerland, we go look at that one in a minute. I'll write that down. Okay, and then scrolling down some more, there's nothing else there. So let's go look at the major currency pairs first, and then we'll start looking at the opportunities that we found. Let's go look at the Euro USD. Remember, on the left hand side is our daily time frame. On the right hand side, this is basically our weekly time frame. Daily, weekly. Okay, so let's zoom in on a daily for the Euro USD and the weekly. If you look at the weekly, there's conflict all over the place. It's bouncing right off the top of the cloud. However, look at the Tinkinson-Cajensen relationship right now. Really, if this thing goes above this pivot here, then the Tinkinson-Cajensen will cross and they will come out of the cloud. And at that point, you can't look ideal. But the Chicago is going to get close to price. So this thing's going to start moving up now in order for the weekly to start being bullish and staying strong. Okay, if you look at the daily, remember when we were up here last time we had our video, we talked about it needing a pullback. Well, we got the pullback, it went here, and then it kind of got stuck here at the Tinkinson. Really hasn't done much at all, and it's kind of just twiddling around here. So this thing's got to make a decision whether it's going to come here all the way down to its next major support right here, which is at 33.66, or it needs to make a commitment to sit there and start breaking 38.56. So these are the two levels, let me just mark them, that you need to see the euro do something in order to start even potentially trending. So, you got a huge range of 500 pips for it to make a decision which way to go. If you're day trading, it's kind of hard to determine which way to kind of go lopsided right now. I still would probably still be a little more on the bearish side because it's in the cloud, and the weekly kind of shows you it needs a little pullback too. So, it could go either way really if a day trading, but really more towards the bearish side. Okay, let's go look at the pound USD. If you look at the pound USD, the weekly is bullish except for the Cajensen. It's in the cloud, so that's weak. It's kind of done a double top here, so it really needs to break out this double top in order for it to sit there and start trending. If you look at the daily, definitely bullish. So definitely, it needs to break this pivot here in order to start trending, which is a double top on the weekly and also daily here. Actually, pound looks really good. If it could sit there and break that top, this thing really looks good to sit there and start going all the way up to about 64.19. So this thing can have a potential of making a 400 pip run if they could break this, sorry, 200 pip run if it could break the 62.80 level. Key is what's going to do there. We're kind of at a little minor support right now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens today. Let's go look at US yen. US yen had a nice little pop last couple of days, and if you look, this is the first time for a while that we've actually closed above the Cajun sin on the weekly, which is a very, very good sign. Chicago is still not bullish at all, which is not good. So a couple of more weeks and maybe consolidating, this thing really could sit there and start making a move up. The gap up is not healthy for a trend, so you kind of expect a pullback to happen. Hopefully the pullback will happen here to about 82.32, and at that point it'll bounce off that and then start going up here, break this pivot, and then go to the next one and keep on starting to trend up. So US yen may be getting ready to go, but we need some confirmations, but signs are starting to look good to the bullish side. Okay, the next one I'll look at is USCAD. If you look at USCAD, there's nothing really there. It's just consolidating right now. So there's nothing there at all. Let's go look at Australian USD. Australian USD, if you look at it, is bullish trending, but it's just sitting there consolidating at the top on a weekly time frame, and you could see that on the daily, where it's pretty much now in the cloud, which is not good. This thing really has got to make a move now to start breaking these highs, and if it does, then it could continue. If it doesn't, the longer this thing consolidates, the higher possibility this thing's going to pull back all the way back to here to 95.11. So we gotta wait and see what happens on there. Let's go look at some of the heat map opportunities. One was Australian yen. If you look at Australian yen, this looks really, really good to the top side. Look at the weekly here. If it could break this pivot here, this high, this thing's going to skyrocket up, and the same over here too. So Australian yen really looks good on both daily and weekly, and this could start a nice trend up to actually potentially even go up to 87. So this is a potential for 400 pip run on this one, but you got to wait and see if it breaks this high with confirmation and doesn't do a fake top. But that looks like the best trending opportunity right now that we have. Let's go look at Euro Australian. If you look at Australian, this is being on a weekly time frame, been trading for a long, long time. Bearish. This thing needs a pullback sooner or later on the weekly. So if you look in counter trend mode, the daily is almost set up. If this thing could actually break this guy right here, up here, this thing could sit there and do a major pullback on the weekly and start trending bullish on the daily. So we're going to be looking for that, a counter trend opportunity for the weekly, but a trend opportunity for the daily. And the reason why we're doing that is because this thing's been trending for a very, very long time, and huge pip movement down. That's over a 5,000 pip movement down. So we're kind of expecting some it to reverse sooner or later, and it may be coming up soon. So we'll look at that. The next one I'm going to look at is pound USD, which we already did, and then we're going to look at New Zealand yen. Remember, we had an opportunity Australian yen. Look at New Zealand yen. If you look at New Zealand yen on a weekly, look at this guy. It's coiling in and just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This thing's getting ready to bust one way or another. It really could go either way right now. If it basically breaks the bottom side, that has a potential of basically coming out down to these levels at 55.13. Eventually, maybe retesting the lows. If it breaks the top side, then it has a potential coming up here to 69.30 and breaking through. But this thing's coiling down tighter and tighter and tighter. So this thing's getting ready to explode one way or another. So keep an eye on this one. Okay, and the last one I'm going to look at is Australian Switzy. And if you look at Australian Switzy, it's been trending for a long time, the weekly. And if you look now, it's kind of just consolidating a little here. But actually, there's nothing really there. It's just consolidating. This thing really has got to break to the high side to start trending up. But it has been consolidating and getting a little tighter and tighter. So this thing could sit there and break one way or another sooner or later. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next week. Thank you.